If you're familiar with missing persons cases, you know that some disappearances seem too clean, too complete, too impossible to explain, but few are as strange, or as creepy, as what happened to 27-year-old medical student Brian Shaffer on the night of March 31, 2006, in Columbus, Ohio. This isn't your typical whodunit. This is a story that defies logic, breaks every theory, and leaves behind a single, disturbing question. How does a man walk into a bar and never walk out? Brian was described by friends as smart, driven, and warm-hearted. He was grieving the recent loss of his mother, but trying to stay focused on school. That Friday night, he and his friend Clint went bar hopping to celebrate the start of spring break. Their final stop, the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a second-floor bar at the end of a well-lit escalator. Brian was seen on security footage entering the bar around 1:15, but what happened next is where the mystery begins. Multiple security cameras cover every exit of the Ugly Tuna, yet Brian is never seen leaving. Not through the front entrance, not through the service exit, not through the escalator. It's as if he simply vanished into thin air. Police combed through the footage frame by frame. Everyone who entered that bar that night is accounted for, except Brian. Investigators even considered whether he might have changed clothes or slipped out with the crowd. No evidence, no leads. His cell phone was never used again. His bank accounts untouched. It was as though Brian Shaffer stepped out of time and out of reality. Theories swirled. Did he fall victim to foul play? Was he hiding from something or someone? Did he orchestrate his own disappearance, or did something more bizarre occur? Some speculated he'd found a secret exit or crawl space. Others said he never left the building alive, that perhaps his body was hidden somewhere no one ever thought to look. Creepier still, in the months that followed, Brian's voicemail would ring, and sometimes it sounded like someone had picked up. Static, a faint click. Was it a technical glitch? A ghost in the system? Or was someone else in possession of his phone? Adding to the eeriness, the bar has since closed. The building has been gutted and remodeled, yet no trace of Brian was ever found during demolition. Cadaver dogs, forensic teams, and private investigators all came up empty. It's one of the only missing persons cases where the last known location was surrounded by surveillance, and yet no answers emerged. Brian's father, who never gave up searching, tragically died in an accident in 2008. After his obituary went live online, someone posted a cryptic comment: "To Dad, love Brian, U.S. Virgin Islands." The IP was traced to a public computer in Columbus, but the lead went nowhere. Then there's the friend Clint, the last known person to see Brian. Despite being cooperative initially, Clint refused to take a polygraph test. He hired a lawyer. While it's true that lie detectors are unreliable and legally contentious, Clint's reluctance fueled speculation. Did he know something he wasn't telling, or was he just trying to protect himself from becoming the center of a very public, unsolvable mystery? Brian's girlfriend, who had been expecting him to join her on a spring break trip just days later, was devastated. She called him every day for weeks, and every call went straight to voicemail, until one day it rang, briefly, once, then silence. Cell towers showed a ping in Hilliard, a suburb of Columbus, but nothing concrete followed. Conspiracy theorists dove in. Some believed Brian had been abducted by a human trafficking ring. Others claimed he might have suffered a head injury, lost his memory, and wandered away to start a new life unknowingly. One theory even suggests he's still alive, hiding in plain sight, avoiding the pain of his mother's death and father's expectations. But how would he maintain a hidden life for nearly 2 decades, with no paper trail, no online presence, no credible sightings? And then there's the truly bizarre idea that Brian didn't disappear at all, that he somehow entered a hidden part of the building, fell through structural infrastructure, or was accidentally sealed in a wall or shaft during renovation. No evidence has surfaced to support it, but with no body and no signs, nothing can be ruled out. The Ugly Tuna Saloona's location only adds to the mystery. The bar sat at the end of a long, narrow hallway above street level. The area behind it, where a service exit was located, led into a dangerous alley filled with construction sites and broken fences. Could Brian have attempted tempted to leave that way? Become injured or unconscious and died unnoticed in the maze of shadows and debris? If so, how could every search fail to find him? To this day, law enforcement keeps Brian's case open. Each year, a digital age progression photo is released. Each year, the tip line receives new calls, none of which have yielded results. His younger brother has given interviews, pled for answers, but remains haunted by the same repeating question: how does someone just disappear? The bar may be gone, the footage may be old, but Brian Shaffer's case isn't cold, it's frozen. Frozen in a moment, in an elevator ride, in a single step past the point of return. And whatever happened behind the doors of that Second Street bar in 2006, one thing remains certain: Brian went in, but he never came out. For more real-life mysteries and chilling true crime cases that defy logic, subscribe and turn on notifications. You never know when the next case will lead to an answer or another question.